Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're unpacking something that's honestly a bit uncomfortable to think about, but absolutely crucial. You know, we always hear life is short, right? But how often do we actually look at the hard data behind that? Well, today, we're going to examine the jarring, almost crazy dissonance between the raw math of a human lifespan and how modern society basically forces us to spend it. We're going to take a really close look at our time, our money, and the daily grind that just seems to consume us. Section 1. The days of life and the mathematical reality. To really grasp the value of time, let's look at a super specific case study. We're going to project a timeline for someone who is exactly 31 years old, 3 months, and 28 days old. Look at this number, 11,443. By that 31-year mark, that is the exact number of days this person has lived. And, well, it's also exactly 11,443 nights that have come and gone. When you really stop and think about it, that feels incredibly finite, doesn't it? It's not some limitless ocean of time. It's a specific, quantifiable count, and it is literally ticking away every single second. Now, when we expand those days into hours, we hit this massive number, 274,632. This right here is the absolute total container of hours lived so far by age 31. Think about that for a second. Every single thing this person has ever felt, learned, experienced, or worked for, it all fits perfectly inside this limited inventory of time. It really drives home the reality that time is our ultimate, unreplenishable currency. Once an hour is spent, that's it. It's gone forever. No refunds. Let's move to Section 2, Sleep and Waking Math, and the Biological Tax. Let's see how this inventory of hours is actually divided up. Okay, here's the exact mathematical split. If we assume an average of 8 hours of rest tonight, an astonishing 91,544 hours have been completely surrendered to sleep. That leaves us with 183,088 waking hours. So before we even wake up, before we make a single conscious choice about our careers or our families or our passions, a massive chunk of our timeline is simply snatched up by biology. Now, what's really interesting about this breakdown is just how staggering that biological tax actually is. 1 entire third of our existence, literally 33%, is spent completely unconscious. We are essentially asleep for a third of our lives. That means we only get 67% of our timeline to actually live, build things, love our families, and experience the world. Honestly, it makes that remaining slice of the pie just so much more precious. Section 3. The real price of time and the modern trade-off. When you really sit down and look at the math, you realize how incredibly strange and frankly tough modern life truly is today.
If anything holds the ultimate value, it's this remaining time we have. Yet, how do we treat it? Ask yourself this. If time is our most priceless asset, why do we sell our waking hours so cheaply? It's a heavy question. It challenges the very foundation of how we value human life. And it definitely forces us to take a hard look at our own daily grind.
Section 4, Employment and our Sacrifice, and Trading Life for Survival. This brings us to the core conflict of the modern working class, and it really highlights just how bizarre things have gotten. And this perfectly illustrates the brutal squeeze we are all in. So many of us are giving 12 to 14 hours of our day straight to work and commuting. Our precious waking hours are heavily monopolized by our jobs, leaving us with a mere 10 hours for absolutely everything else. Let's really break down those remaining 10 hours. Out of that tiny chunk, we still have to sleep, right? And in whatever tiny sliver is left after that, we have to desperately try to give time to our families, our spouses, our kids. Life is so strange right now because the most valuable thing in the world is time, yet we are stretched so incredibly thin. And the hard truth is no amount of money in the world can buy back those missing hours you couldn't spend with your family because you're stuck at work. Time becomes a luxury that literally nobody can purchase. And by the time you hit age 31, what's the reward for this massive sacrifice? For far too many people in the workforce today, they're stuck in a job that pays a desperately low monthly salary, like $20,000. Now, regardless of what currency that is for you, this number represents a minimum wage that stands in aggressive, heart-wrenching contrast against the thousands of priceless, non-renewable hours we literally just traded away to earn it. So, the crucial point here is this heartbreaking dissonance. The systems that employ us give us a minimum monthly wage, and in return, they take 12 to 14 hours daily of our most precious, unpurchasable thing. Employers are basically purchasing our most priceless commodity at an extreme discount.
They take our time, and we just get to keep our heads above water. We are literally trading life for basic survival. Section 5. The choice is in your hands and shaping the remaining hours. Look, I know this sounds heavy, but recognizing this harsh reality is actually the first critical step toward reclaiming your own agency. Because remember, every passing day is a new story. The time that has already ticked by, all those thousands of days and hundreds of thousands of hours, they simply become your experience. But the future? That is a blank slate. Every single new day is an opportunity, shaped entirely by your decisions, giving you a chance to align time with what actually matters and to transform your dreams into reality. The past is already written, but that 67% of the time you have left awake, that belongs to you. Take a look at your daily grind, look at what you're trading your life for, and ask yourself this. The past is just experience. How will you spend the priceless time that remains? Thank you so much for watching this explainer, and I truly hope it gives you something meaningful to think about today.